Welcome to the Chronically Offline show. Today I will be talking to Izzy about men.
Don't delete my sign. It's a very understandable thing to be doing when we're having a conversation about guys. I'm like, oh.
Okay, so we've seen a lot of talk about men and whether or not it's men's fault for the gap between men and women. But today we'll be getting into the nuance and talking about where these fears really come from and who really is at fault for reinforcing these ideas. So I have a few questions for you to see
Okay.
where your mind is at, and if you have any underlying bias.
Yes.
Basically, I wanted to start with domestic violence
Okay.
because of the football. Obviously,
Yeah.
England lost yesterday.
Yeah.
We're recording Thursday, 16th of July. So they lost last night to
Mm.
Argentina. Um, and we've got stats out about domestic violence.
Yeah.
And they say that cases of domestic abuse increased by 38% when
Yeah.
England lose, and 26% increase when they win. So it's like whether or not they win or lose, it seems like football or something of the sort is increasing domestic violence. Um,
Drink.
so I'm so the so the statement is that the statement that we're going to be questioning: you should support England in the World Cup and be sad if they lose, as it means more domestic violence. Like, what is your initial thoughts on that?
I mean, of course, yeah. Like, I don't think you have to should feel any certain way about anything, but if you want to, you can do, and it can be a thought in your head if you want to talk about it or think about it. I mean, like for me, I think what probably causes it to be as high as it is obviously a lot of people choose to drink when they're watching sports. So I think that's not that I'm excusing it because of
Mm.
drinking, but it's gonna.
Yeah, so you think it's more to do with the actions that people are taking
Mm,
around the sport, and
yeah,
it's not the sport itself.
nah, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, my initial like thoughts of that statement is like it's a bit ridiculous because we don't want domestic violence anyway.
Yeah,
So we shouldn't be thinking, oh well, you should support England because if you don't, women are going to get abused more.
yeah,
It's like that's a ridiculous thing to say. We shouldn't have any abuse to
yeah,
begin with.
exactly.
So saying, oh, you should support it if you don't support England, you're not supporting women in domestic violence
Mm,
situations. Like that's it's just a very strange thing to say.
yeah.
I wanted to talk about like de-individuation. That's basically it's a psychological phenomenon
Mm,
where individuals lose their self-awareness and
okay.
personal accountability when they're immersed in a group.
Mm,
So this comes along with like the football and everything.
mm,
A lot of people will take away their individualism, and they're just part of this big group. And the pain of this group or the happiness of this group really like becomes their being.
mm,
I remember my stepdad coming back from Chelsea losing a game, and he was super aggressive, like just really angry that they had lost, and
mm.
was pointing it towards my mum. So I've got a few questions.
Yeah.
Do you believe men are inherently aggressive?
Um, no, I think it's taught. I'll be honest. I think no one is inherently born aggressive, regardless of their gender. I think it's the society we live in and what men are taught to act like. That they can't show their emotions and stuff, and because that's
Mm,
seen as weak, they can't talk things out. They won't ask for help. So I don't think just because they're men, they're inherently aggressive. You're not born like that.
mm.
That's something that's taught. That's something that's become the norm for you growing up. Whether that's you've witnessed DV or what kind of media you consume. You know.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think the same. I don't think there's. I don't think men are inherently aggressive. I don't think testosterone makes you aggressive. It's just another hormone. But yeah, I think it is the patriarchy that has built this up and reinforces it, where men are pushed to become aggressive beings because that's what they're seen as.
Mm.
So yeah, there's a lot more to it. But I've got another question that might seem stupid. It might seem like, why are you even asking this question?
Go on.
But do you believe women should be given no doubt when accusing a man of domestic violence?
Mm.
Do you think we should just believe everyone?
No, no. I think there's nuance. There's a lot, and I know people are going to be like when they hear that, but I
Well,
think
that's the
there's a
whole
lot.
point of this. The whole point of
Yeah,
this talk, isn't it?
there's it's nuance. I don't think it's just black and white. There is people that lie about that stuff. I've been accused of lying. You can but I know the truth and I'm okay with that
Yeah,
at the end of the day. Like I have accepted that and been like, you know what? It's okay that sometimes some people will just never believe you because they'll not believe you if it's their friend or if it's their relative. They're
yeah,
less likely to believe you anyway because they're like, well, they'd never do that. They've never done that to me. So of course, unfortunately, in the world we live in, you're going to get people that don't believe you anyway. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So, and obviously, there is some people that stretch the truth. There is people that clutch at straws. Like, what did I see? I don't know if I shared the TikTok. I saw it because obviously I get like stuff on my FYP, and it said something like, "If you're transphobic, that's sexual assault." Now, I don't think that's sexual assault. That's transphobia, and that's a hate. That's a hate crime. Absolutely, is it a hate crime? Yeah.
Okay, I understand what they're trying to get at. Let me just see what, like, if I'm getting the right thing that they're saying. What I feel they're saying is, you're thinking about their genitalia. If you're transphobic, you're actively thinking about what genitalia they have, and that's like not. They don't. No one's going to want that. Are you thinking about their genitalia? It feels like a sexual assault. So it's like
I think you're
the
clutching there,
statement.
man.
Yeah, well, the statement itself, like, just it sounds mad, but that's probably what they're saying. They're saying, like, if you're talking about me having a penis or not having a penis, then it's a sexual assault. But I don't think that's assault. It's just like, it's just transphobia in it. So yeah, I think they're smashing two things together that doesn't need to be put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also believe that. Well, I believe that we should listen.
Mm,
Anytime someone says that they've, they've got abuse coming towards them,
mm.
we should listen and we should take these things into account.
Of
Um,
course.
there obviously is people out there that just make things up for attention, but that's like a very small percentage of people. But the next question is: do you believe men are well aware of their behavior, or if it's just ignorance, like they're just unaware and still doing it?
I think it's a mixture of many different things. So I think probably with some men, they think it's actually normal and it's okay because of the content they've consumed online, whether that's like 18 plus content. So obviously a lot of guys are going to be like, especially when they're young teens, oh, that they do that, so that must be normal, you know? And unless you've got women or partners that are pulling them up, you're going to think that that's okay, unless you consume obviously media that educates you, which I do think that should be pushed more in like high school, college. And then don't get me wrong, I think there's some people, some men that are just preds. There are men that absolutely know that their actions are bad, but they will do it anyway. Um,
Yeah,
because I think especially in the UK with our justice system, it's a slap on the wrist. Like I don't even give a shit. So my uncle is a convicted paedophile, and he got caught with like thousands of images, right? And he didn't even get any jail time. He had like over
that's mad.
500, yeah, over 500 images or something like that, or 1,000 images, class A, and no jail time. So that to me says you've had a slap on the wrist, and you could easily do that shit again. Like,
Mm.
what's the repercussions for people these days? But yeah, if you get caught with a bit of weed on you, you're getting 5 years in prison. It's a fucking
Yeah,
joke.
that's stupid. It's
I don't
basically,
heads up. I do not talk to that uncle. But can I just make that
yeah.
abundantly clear?
So what I'm getting to is, where do we think this system came from, of men being not pushed, because a lot of the time men are just inherently, like, they sometimes they will grow up to be aggressive, but like, you can't blanket statement that. So
Mm.
um, where was this system built, and like when? and I think it was like before we were even born. So it's had a negative effect on both women and men in these last generations.
Yes.
I believe the system was already in place, and we're all victims to it now. So it's quite difficult to hear like the infighting between men and women,
Yeah.
and when we're all victims to it, and we should all be um, acknowledging that, I guess. But yeah, I was basically, it's not about the football; it's about a collective mindset
Yeah.
that's brought on and reinforced by the patriarchy. Um,
It's also the fact that I think a lot of people, especially men, but I think as a whole, there's just that many people that don't know how to regulate their emotions. So like if they're really dedicated to football and they really fucking love football and they lose the match or whatever, they think, well, my wife or my partner is my outlet. So I am going to take it out on her because I don't know how to deal with this. When obviously that's
yeah,
not right. And I've met just so many adults that have the emotional regulation of a sieve. Like, what are we doing?
yeah. So that brings me on to my next part
Ooh,
very nicely. Is the trends that was going on last year in African American um, social like media,
okay,
and the trend was who is going to be the boys. So I've got a little
okay,
clip to show you.
okay,
I'll pop you on the screen as well. But
okay.
um,
Let's do it.
But if everybody want to be a girl, who gonna be the boys? I keep saying that. That's the whole purpose of being gay, because you like boys. Everybody can't be the girl. You attracted to men, so what the fuck if all the men disappear? What you gonna do? That don't even make no sense to me. Everybody can't be fish now.
Yes, this. I heard that one. Everybody can't be Conti.
I mean, we still got to have some masculine men left out here.
so in that, she's basically saying that if we don't have any masculine men, like there's not going to be any men. So she's basically saying that if you're not a man, if you're not masculine.
Mm,
So what's your initial thoughts on that? Because I have another video of an American guy, like an African American guy,
mm.
talking about it from his point of view. But I want to just get your
I
thoughts on that.
mean, I just don't feel like it's my place to speak on black people's business.
Well, I'll just say the main group of people that are homophobic, yeah, on average, it's men in general. But when we talk about
Mm,
specific groups of people, unfortunately, African American women very high on the
mm,
homophobic scale. And this has been seen in studies. This is not racial discrimination or anything. Like it's clear that they're also reinforcing the patriarchy and
mm,
that men should be manly. They should be the certain way. And there's videos of men, like a picture of a man getting a matcha, and now he's gay because he got a matcha at Starbucks or
I mean,
something.
that's
Like
just bad
it.
taste. I mean, do you want to drink
Yeah. So
ras?
this is what the trend was. It was like a lot of African American women, and they're American. Like black women across the world weren't saying this. It was just Americans. So like
Okay,
this isn't
okay.
this isn't about being black. It's about being an American woman and reinforcing these things on other, like, well, on black men in America. You
Mm,
can't be a black man in America without um, like having heard someone say you can't do this or you can't do that or
mm,
you're gay, you're not masculine enough. So it's infighting. It's like basically they're going against each other when they're in the same same
yeah.
demographic. So yeah, I just wanted to know your thoughts on whether or not
I
we
think
have men that are men still.
yes, of course we do. Do you know what I mean? I think personally, I thought it was really stupid, and I think it's pretty homophobic. What she said. Personally, I think there is plenty of men that is masculine. It depends how you define masculinity, right? Because at the end of the day, as well, we all have our own preferences when it comes to dating a partner, if that's a man or a woman or a non-binary person, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, No, I think there's plenty enough masculine men. There's plenty enough more feminine men.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play this video of this other guy to show you what he
Okay.
said.
Who gonna be the boys is misogynistic rhetoric. If you're not attracted to men who display feminine characteristics, that's fine. Actually, no, it's not fucking fine because you've been socialized by the patriarchy to think that way. I mean, fuck, bro. Like,
It's true. If you think that it's like you're not manly if you show like feminine traits, then you're just reinforcing like
But
the
then it
patriarchy.
but then it boils down to, but what are feminine traits? Because to me, they're just people traits. What, being able to show emotions and cry, that's not a
Yeah,
gendered thing, right? That's
yeah, it's ridiculous.
yeah, yeah. It's for me. I mean, I believe this thing started all like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Like,
Oh
you
yeah,
had old tribes that were actually matriarchs and stuff like that, and that women did a lot of the stuff. And then I think a lot of it was to do with like, because I don't like bringing other religions down, but all I'm just going to say is I think a lot of it has to do with like Christianity and like
Mhm.
colonization. Personally, that's where I think a lot of the shift came from.
Yeah,
And then we just kind of followed suit in the West. It's obviously it's not like that in every country.
yeah. I do think it's a lot to do with the laws that came along with religions, and those laws were written by men, and they are very misogynistic. And yeah, it's just that people like men have kept like following these laws of
Yeah,
religion, and even if they're not religious, they still
yeah,
subconsciously believe these things because parents above them,
yeah.
grandparents, everyone's been talking about these things. But yeah, homophobia towards straight men for simple things like expressing emotions or even just buying a matcha
Tastes
has
like
been
grass. Why are you buying
happening.
grass? Why do you want to drink grass? I've never understood matcha and the whole like trend of like it's not gay. Buy whatever drink the fuck you want. Do you know what I mean? But if
Mm.
you're drinking grass, I hope you know that it tastes like
Yeah,
ass.
well, separate from the drink being crap itself, the point we're talking about is like who's reinforcing these ideas that men should be manly.
Everyone, I think it's
Um,
both every gender.
exactly.
Honestly,
So
yeah.
you have the men saying, "Nah, I want to look after my woman. I want to
Mm,
be the breadwinner," which means that she if she works, then I'm going to be jealous of her, or not jealous,
mm,
but I'm going to be like, I feel like you're demasculizing me or
mm,
whatever. It's just ridiculous. But these
mm.
men think this way, and then they don't realize that's what comes from it.
Yeah, it definitely works
Yeah.
both ways, and there's like too high expectations, in my opinion, from both genders, especially when it comes to like dating and dynamics. So, like for example, you might get a woman that will say, I want a man to provide for me and be there for me and go to work, but then he's never there. Why? Because he fucking
Mm.
works. That's why you don't see
Yeah.
him, mate. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I think we're in a state now where people don't look at relationships 50-50, or even just taking on, taking someone the leeway, because I think for me that's what a partnership's about. If something's up and they need a bit of support with
Mm.
something, you're there to help catch them and vice versa. But I feel like dynamics and stuff these days have just completely shifted, at least online, and it's sad. Like obviously, I think some people know. If you don't know, I mean, I'm quite traditional. That's just how the dynamic works for me and my partner.
Yeah.
I do plan on working when my kid is full time in school. Anyway, I'm going to work part time, but I do prefer to. I clean the house. I do most of it. My part, he does help. He does help, but he works, you know, and that's just how
But
it
you're
is
not
here.
yeah. So you're not reinforcing it
No,
because
I'd
of
never force
patriarchy.
that on anyone.
You're
That's a
living in that way
choice.
because it makes you feel comfortable.
That's a choice, and that should be that my right to
Yeah.
have that choice. And what I cannot also stand is when you see extreme like feminists that'll be like, uh, being a stay-at-home wife is cancer. Like I literally saw that as a comment the other day, being like, you being a trad wife
Mm.
is cancer," when all she was doing, she was baking for her husband. It's like some of you people have lost any like compassion for a potential partner. Like, nah, you expect
Yeah.
everything, and keep the fuck away from me. I don't need that shit near me. If you really hate your partner or you hate men that much, even though I've got a bit of a disdain for them, but stay away from me when it's that bad. So you can cut where you want with that, but I could honestly, the shit I've seen recently on TikTok saying, oh, well, if you shave as a woman, then you're doing that for men. What if someone just wants to be breezy down there and
Exactly.
don't want to itch
I
it?
don't like underarm hair or anything. I'm a
Literally.
guy, and I'm gonna prefer my partner not to have it because I don't like it on myself. Like whether or not they have it is not my
Your business. But
business.
you
Like I
have a
can't control
preference,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, you can still have a preference in it, not be
It's
controlling or
like,
anything.
I saw another one. This is one of the wildest ones I recently saw. A woman saying, like, why do women still wear bras? Are you wearing it for men? I'm like, oh my God. God forbid I don't want my tits
Maybe I
to the
just
floor.
yeah.
God forbid I
Yeah,
just want
maybe
them
I
a bit
just
high.
want to keep them up. Yeah.
Can we not have it? And the thing is, it's women. It's women that I've seen post about that. I'm like, can we not
Mm.
fucking have anything?
Yeah, so my question about that is like, do you believe it's internalized misogyny? Like, where do you feel you fit as a woman? Like, what is your worth tied to? Like, do you tie your worth to being a woman, or is it tied to something else, being a mother, or like, where do you feel you fit as a woman? Do you think you have internalized misogyny?
Probably. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it is inherently inside of you. I think you can work on certain stuff like I have, and I'm not afraid to admit this, and I've said it to people. Only on myself, not anyone else. I don't give a shit about anyone else. But I have internalized fat phobia on myself. I know I absolutely do. Because I make comments about myself. Not that I give a shit
Yeah.
about anyone else. You can be what you like. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
But
well, internalized doesn't mean it doesn't mean you're homophobic if you've got internalized homophobia if you're gay.
yeah,
It's because it's internal. It's towards yourself.
as long as
Doesn't
you're not
mean that you're
projected
going
it
to
onto
do that.
others.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing that thing
Yeah.
to other people.
It depends how far
Because
you
yeah,
go, because like some people say you can't even say like the word bitch anymore and stuff. Like I say that to you, I say that to my
hmm.
partner. But there is some people out there that like you should not say that. That's misogynistic, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think it depends on who's saying it. Like I called a partner in the past bitch, and she was like, "You can't like don't call me that. Like it's like really really bad." And I was unaware that a man saying it to a woman is different to a woman saying it to a woman,
Mm,
or a woman saying it to a man. Like it's a very different like meaning behind it. Um, but yeah, so I realized I shouldn't be saying that to women. Like, if I'm going to call someone a bitch, it's going to be my friends. Like,
yeah,
it's going to be someone that's like I'm not having an argument with, and they're a woman like that. Because then it's just straight up like, oh, you're a bitch, meaning you are
yeah,
below me and stuff. And that's not what you want to be having in a conversation. It's not.
no,
It's not constructive. That's the word.
mm,
Um, I wanted to talk about the male loneliness epidemic.
yeah,
Um, so the stats say that 25 to 35-year-old men,
okay,
there's a loneliness epidemic.
right,
35 to 55-year-old women are also very lonely,
okay.
close to the same amount, close to the same amount. Why do you think that 35 to 55-year-old women are lonely if 25 to 35-year-old men are lonely?
So, in my opinion, again, it comes down to a lot of expectations and what you want out of a person. So, like, so for the women,
Okay.
I think a lot of men view that age range as, I hate saying it, this is not something I condone, but a lot, especially around like the red pill movement, is like used up,
Mhm.
they're old, they can't have kids, what's the point? And I think when it comes to like younger men, especially if they're in a certain type of demographic, it depends, they have that mindset. So younger women are going to be like, ew, I don't want that. I don't want you thinking that of women in general. So they're going to pull
Okay.
away. I think. I think again, it comes to a lot of things. This generation, we have very different expectations when it comes to relationships and standards.
Yeah, so I don't know, I think of it slightly differently. I think that men are we have an epidemic of like male loneliness because of like the reinforcement of the patriarchy and everything. But I believe that women are lonely between 35 and 55 because they, in their earlier years, grew a hatred towards men and an expectation that they have to be a certain way. Um, and I believe that there's a loneliness epidemic between like in like the between women, I guess, for those ages because of internalized misogyny, but also misandry. Like
Mm.
they're hating on men, so they feel like they're not going to find someone that's like worth it, and they just end up lonely because they have these expectations that you said.
Mm.
So yeah, there are multiple different reasons, but I
Mm.
think yours is very valid at the same time. Um, that it's from men thinking that women are used up or like or whatever. There's two different ways of seeing it. Like you're seeing
Yeah.
it from the men are looking at the women. I'm thinking the women maybe doing it to themselves at the same time.
Yeah, like
And
I
that
said, I think it's a
there's
societal
loneliness
thing.
everywhere.
Yeah. We're all on his phones,
Um,
mate. It's not the same anymore anyway, you know?
yeah. So I just wanted to mention intersectionality. It's
Okay.
the concept that different social categorizations
Hmm.
such as race, class,
Yep.
gender, sexuality, and ability do not exist in isolation. Like they overlap and intersect. So I wanted to talk to you about your distrust of men,
You sound
and
like my therapist.
and
Yeah, right. Yeah.
so your distrust of men isn't exclusionary. Like you will throw in all kinds of men in. Doesn't matter if you're disabled, trans, old, whatever. If you're a man, I don't trust you, is what you said yesterday, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so just because you distrust men, does that mean that these other social categorizations these men have disappear and their maleness is their worth? Because
Good question.
what you've said is
Mm.
that you don't trust trans men because they are men.
Yeah.
So you're basically the fact that they're trans is just disappearing.
Yeah, it's
You
because to
because you're
me,
just
I view
saying
them as men. There's no difference
yes.
either. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that you're trying to be such an ally towards trans people that you say to them, "Well, you're a man, so I don't trust you." But what I'm asking is their maleness their worth? Like a trans man, like becoming a man, does that make them the same? Like, are they worth the same to you in your brain as other men that were born male?
Yeah, they're like equal. They would not. Why would they not be equal?
Okay, so basically, intersectionality happens all the time in like workplace,
Yeah.
uh, like scenarios and stuff. Like a white woman may get like an opportunity to have an equal job,
Yeah.
but then a trans black lesbian, although a woman, has all these other categories that they're in that also have
Degrees.
discrimination.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They also have discrimination towards them for these other things.
Yeah.
So my question is, when you when you distrust a man,
Mm.
do you believe that you are taking away the rest of their being, what they have learned themselves to or found themselves to be as a man? Could be that they're a very emotional man and they love looking after people and all these things. None of that matters because they are a man.
Uh, uh, it's it's. I've got a thingy for you. Actually, this is good. This is a good example. This. So
Okay.
you got a pack of Skittles, yeah, and one of them is poisonous, but you don't know which one's poisonous and that would kill you. Would you risk
Okay.
it? Would you risk trying to pick out a
Okay.
Skittle?
Let me explain why that question is ridiculous. That question is ridiculous because the packet of Skittles, if you don't have any, it means you're alone forever.
But that's not what I meant, though. You meant to go along with
Yeah,
them.
but
What
no,
do we
that
call?
no, you can't just go along with something that has additional things to it. Like if you're picking a man out of the group, and you don't want to pick one because one of them could be poisonous, that means that you're never going to have a man. So you're always going to be thinking, men are poison. I don't want to be around them because they could hurt me. Um, which means intersectionality happens. You're like, well, intersectionality is happening, but you're not thinking about that because there's a poison in those men, um, and you don't want to put your hands in there to pick one out. You see that there's extra
I see
to
what
it.
you make. I see what you're saying. Don't get me wrong.
You're
I get
left
what you're saying.
alone. If you don't have a
Yeah.
skittle, you're left alone.
But at the
And that's the
same time,
35 to 55-year-old women.
but
They
at the,
didn't want to pick a skittle, and now they're lonely. I mean, that's a very overgeneralization. If you
that
want
is,
to, we can talk about it in the comments, people. It's not my belief. I'm just saying things to get the conversation going. I'm very, very far left.
yeah, it's sickening. I'm joking. Like, obviously, there comes a time where if you know, especially if you are heterosexual, whatever, and you're attracted to men, and you're a woman, whatever, um, or whatever sexuality, and you're attracted to men, and you know, obviously, if you meet someone to an extent, at some point, you've got to trust them, but you've got to tread so carefully.
For
It's
you,
hard.
do people start at a zero with trust, or do they start at -10 and they've got to climb up to zero to even get to the point where you can start trusting them?
Start at maybe -1.
Okay, so they're already at a disadvantage.
Of
They could be
course.
the Pope. Not that the Pope's a good guy. I don't know the Pope. He could be a horrible man, but I'm just saying, like, religiously, like, people would see him as like, oh, he's a great guy. So I'm just saying, like, any kind of man, you're just throwing them in like at a -1. They've got to learn, like, they've got to work for your trust
Yes,
before it even starts.
because I would hold that same thing for friendships though. And
Okay.
respect is earned, not given. And
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm the
mean,
not
like, personally, I think people start at zero and then you like sometimes quickly learn to trust them. But yeah, I think having someone at a -1 or minus whatever, when you don't know them, is somewhat um, somewhat offensive. It's like taking away the parts of them that they know to be true, that they just haven't had time to show you. What do you think about
I think you're wrong. Don't think you're wrong. I think people are well within their rights not to trust strangers, stranger danger. And
that?
especially when you're a mother, you can't be trusting people around your kids. No, because
Yeah. Hmm.
the most type of like abuse in that kind starts in the home, starts in your family home. So I don't trust half of my family, would not trust half of my family to look after my child, nor would I trust strangers. You know, no, I don't think people are under any obligation to trust people. It's earned.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. At zero, there's no trust. But what I'm saying is, if you're starting someone at a -1, you're actively distrusting them. If someone came to you and said to you, "Oh, how are you doing today?" If
Fuck
you're
off.
at a -1, you'd be like, "Oh,
How is
get away
my
from me!"
day?
Like, why are you talking to me? You're a man. Which a lot of women do. I've seen it
Oh
online. A lot
yeah,
of
yeah, of
women say,
course there is.
"Oh, you're a man. Leave me alone," even though they're straight. Like, straight and don't have a partner, and they'll still be saying, "Ugh, you're a man," like reinforcing that loneliness for their own future, I guess, in my personal opinion.
I mean, I'd say hello. I just think it'd be a bit like if I was walking down. I don't know. It depends. It's different up north, I guess. It's very friendly around here, and people do say hello to each other. Doesn't help that my child enjoys saying good morning, good afternoon to literally every motherfucker on the street he passes.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Do
hello.
you do you believe yourself to be a feminist?
It's an hard one these days because I don't like how a lot of it has shaped now. can explain the definition of feminism. It's the equality of men and women. That's the base level of feminism. If you look at Wikipedia, I do believe it's the equality of men and women. I'm not that fucking woke. Thank you.
So do you associate? Like, do you associate with that? Is that what I'm asking?
Oh, I associate with that. Yeah, that.
Yeah, so you're about to explain why you feel like it's difficult to say you're a feminist because other people are using the word as something that's not feminism.
For fuel.
But yeah, the question is, like, do you see yourself as a feminist? And then we were going to talk about what we see as feminism.
Yes, to be fair, again, feminism should be the equality of men, women, or any gender, for that matter.
Yeah.
I think we should come. I mean, I live in Fantasyland, but ideally, I think we should come together, work together to beat, misogyny and these like evil things going off in the world, misandry as well. But I think, especially because of the internet, it's just turned toxic. I need to sneeze.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm going to zoom right into your face when you sneeze. So yeah, I wanted to talk about feminism because there's a lot of talk of like we want equal. We want equal like opportunities for jobs and stuff like that. But then when the opportunity is given, the harder jobs, bin men, electrical network, like mining, all of these jobs, like 98% of men. If you want equality, why are those still 98% men? Why are women choosing equality in office positions but not trades?
I think with things like that, it's probably because it's not pushed enough at school in like your earlier education that you can get into that. It's like I do know some people that have, as women, have gone into like plumbing. I used to know a woman that did plumbing. And I mean, I'm awfully good with pipes myself, kill me. Anyway, so or like engineers and stuff like that. But I think we need to push it more in a younger educational setting to be like, hey, if you want to do this job, you can do it too. I think there's probably another reason why women don't want to do them jobs because they are obviously full of men. We do know that the SA and stuff can happen in workplaces, harassment and stuff that can happen, but that can happen at like any job. Like that can happen if you were to ASDA or whatever. But I think that's probably another reason what puts women off. Yeah.
So you're saying that there's loads of different reasons why a woman wants equality in one job, but would rather not even bother going towards the others. Yeah, because that's something that people have been talking about. Like, why would you not want equality in these other jobs? You just want CEO positions. You want these you want equality in the office, but not on the field.
I think I was about 15 at the time, and the army came into our schools. I'm assuming just to have like talks and stuff, and if they want to recruit when they're older and join. And I remember being in the atrium, and I remember the officer or whatever. He was like, "If you're a woman, can you leave now?" And I was like, "Why?"
Excuse me, what?
Because it was like, "Oh well, women can't be on the front line." I don't know if the laws have changed. You'd have to look it up. But I think
they might have.
I'd check that. Honestly, genuinely.
Fact check on the screen right now. We don't know the answer because I'm not Googling it right now.
I don't think they're allowed because I think the laws around it is that obviously they think, oh, well, women have families and stuff like that and can't be on the front line. But men have families too, so what do you mean? I look at that. My dad's alive and he's not in my life. Look at the state of me. What do you mean? I mean, he's just dead, but we're not going to talk about that.
Daddy issues.
Look, if we don't laugh, we'll cry. Okay. So,
how do you feel about misandry?
I think it's a real thing. I know there's a lot of like.
Yeah, but I mean, like, obviously it's a real thing. But how do you feel about it? How does it make you feel?
There's people that think it's not real. There is a lot of feminists.
Okay, well that's stupid because we've got a definition of the word, so it's obviously a real word. So forget those people. They don't exist in this conversation. My question is, how do you personally feel about misandry are you like okay with women hating men because there's reasons for it, or do you think that it's reinforcing the patriarchy like I do?
I don't think it's reinforcing it. I can understand to an extent why women would be cautious of
Yeah.
men, you know, but you can't just hit a man for breathing. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is women that and it's just the double standards. Like, I remember seeing TikTok videos of this man that it was a black man actually, went to a carnival and he got SA'd.
Oh,
And
I saw those. Yeah, I saw him
and the
talking about it.
comments, did you see the comments from women on that?
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous.
I was
Like,
like,
you
double
want
fucking what?
yeah, you want sexual assault to stop happening to you, but then you're gonna be like, okay, well, you get what you're given. Like, it's
Like, two wrongs
horrendous.
don't make a right. Literally, why are we
Exactly.
stooping as women? Let's not. I'm not being funny, right? Some people that are so hateful. Genuinely, what you just need is a shag. Just have a shag and you'll feel better. Genuinely. Anyway, next.
Well, personally, I don't think about sex straight away, and it kind of scares me.
Well, maybe not
So
you.
I'm in a
because you're Virgin
position
Mary.
as a man, I'm in a position where I am seen as a certain way, although I don't act that way.
Yeah, you bother the
I'm
twat.
I'm I'm very like careful with how I act towards women, how I treat women, how I treat men. So that's why I wanted the conversation today, because I'm not the typical. Well, I used to be. When I was 18, I was very ignorant. I didn't actually know. But once I learned that I was doing these behaviors, I got rid of them. So as a man that's learned these things, I wanted to talk to you as a woman who's dealt with misogyny.
Horrible. There's just horrible people in the fucking world, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And it's hard not to have a bias on stuff because it's how your brain fucking works. It is. It is. It's the black and white thinking. And to undo all that takes fucking years. Will I ever fully trust men? No, probably not. But I think I'm well within my rights to be cautious. I try, all right, don't get me wrong. I try not to be hateful. I try not to be hateful. But I keep people at an arm's length. And I think that's okay.
So your distrust of men isn't misandry. It's your personal trauma, nothing to do with the man. It's themselves.
It's self-projection. I admit it. It's my
how you
self-projection.
react to men. Okay. Yeah. That has been the displacement of men. And if you would like to leave a comment below talking about the things that we talked about, because we haven't gone too in depth about everything. If you've got some disagreements with us,
or a question,
as we both said, we both said different things about the same thing. So let us know down below. Give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And muscle mummy over there.
Oh, should I need muscles? It's all fat this now, but Tommy mummy coming to a home near you. Fuck now.
I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. This has been Chronically Offline Show. See you later.
Bye bye.